Hello, I'm Dango Rose. Welcome to the Mountaineer Podcast, where everybody's listening. The Mountaineer brings you the latest news of the Peak to Peak region, in print, online, through our podcast, social media, and special publications. Now, listen in to the latest news of the area with our local journalists.
Welcome back to the Mountaineer Podcast, where everybody's listening. I'm Cynthia Davis.
And I'm Art DeVitalis. Now for this week's news.
Our intro music was created by some of our local mountain kids that play with the Greater Boulder Youth Orchestra.
This episode is brought to you by the Mountain Man Outdoor Store, Hardt's Backhoe, Brightwood Music, Very Nice Brewing Company, and of course, the Mountaineer newspaper.
For our lead story today, we talked to Meg Bacon, a veterinarian who has started at Nederland Veterinary Hospital. First, we asked where her career and experiences have taken her.
My name is Dr. Meg Bacon, and I'm a veterinarian and also a certified practitioner in fear-free practices, as well as a certified chiropractor for animal chiropractic. And I just started as a new associate at Nederland Veterinary Hospital. I have 10 years of experience in the veterinary medicine field in both large and small animals. I've been in Colorado for over a decade for school and also for practicing. I worked as a certified veterinary technician about 6 years prior to doing my veterinary medicine degree and doing my advanced degree. So I have a bachelor in science in equine science, as well as a master's in science in biomedical science focused in reproductive physiology, doctorate of veterinary medicine, and then I have some additional certificates doing, like I said, fear-free practices in small animal and working on my large animal, and then doing my certification through the International Veterinary Chiropractic Association for animal chiropractic in both large and small animal. And that was over just this past year. I finished the chiropractic certification, but I am doing practice as far as chiropractic in both large and small animal right now. As far as practice types, as a certified vet tech, I worked in rural mixed practice over on the western slope for a while. I also did ambulatory mixed animal medicine in the Front Range, as well as equine exclusive. I even spent time in doing small animal emergency medicine while I was in veterinary school. As a veterinarian, I've worked both in full-time large animal practice, which was horses, cows, sheep, all of the things, doing ambulatory and in-house work with that. And then I also did relief as a general practitioner in small animal practice at a fear-free certified practice. And so I'm really excited to be coming here to go to NedVet because I get to do all the parts of general practice that I like to do. And on the side, I'm doing my ambulatory chiropractic for both large and small animals so I can keep doing my large animal experiences.
But she didn't start out in Colorado.
Definitely here and able to provide services in Nederland. I do have relationships already in other places in the state, so I have been doing small animal and large animal chiropractic both down in Boulder County, since that's where I live, in Gun Barrel area, and then I also intermittently travel to other areas in the state that are in need. So the fear-free practice that I did relief for in High Mountain, Colorado, in Carbondale, I go back there 1 to 2 times a month to check in with my patients to administer their treatments for maintenance care, and I've been doing that. And then I also get referrals from veterinarians in other areas that don't have a chiropractor or a veterinarian that does chiropractic. So I'll be heading to Fraser, Colorado, even this weekend to see a horse case that needs chiropractic adjustment for a medical reason. I'm originally from Michigan and born and raised there and spent the first portion of my life there up until about high school. And I spent 4 years in Connecticut for high school on the East Coast before I came out to Colorado in 2005 it would have been. And then I just never left the state, traveled to multiple areas in the state to live and work, but have been in the state since 2005.
Of course, we had to ask her about any unique or interesting patients she's had.
Interesting patients often end up being the ones that people don't think about going into the veterinary clinic. And so during my time with Colorado State University, even when I was a veterinary student, but acting as a working student, we see all kinds of exotics, so things like ferrets and rabbits, but some of the most interesting ones in practice that I've seen have actually been pot-bellied pigs. And so, we're not servicing pot-bellied pigs here in Ned. It's just hard to do that in limited space, and they require very specific care and medications that having in large amounts aren't easy to have. But in practice, they need regular care every couple of weeks to have their feet and their teeth trimmed, and they're loud, and some are very social, and they're very smart. And a lot of times it's nutrition management because they're a little overweight. And so they're some of the most interesting. Some owners bring them in their car and they have a harness and they follow a trail of Cheerios, and other people are sort of escorting them into the hospital, kind of ushering them in because they're so big, over 200 pounds sometimes.
And importantly, she's excited to continue by working in the Ned area.
So I really have had a great relationship actually in the Nederland community prior to this, because my husband, his family is in Gilpin County and travels through Nederland quite a bit. And I also have had family in Boulder County for almost 10 years now as well. So we're really excited to be here. And as far as getting a hold of me, I'm in the office at Ned Vet Wednesday through Friday. And if anyone is in need of or independent ambulatory chiropractic care outside of coming into Ned Vet for their large animals, they're welcome to contact my ambulatory business, which is called Medicine in Motion Veterinary Services. There's a website that has my travel schedule on it. It's called medicineinmotionvet.com.
Thank you, Meg, and we wish you the best as you take care of our animal friends.
To the news desk.
The Holistic Homestead is holding a 3-day farmers market over the Memorial Day weekend. The Holistic Homestead is located at 972 Golden Gate Canyon Drive. They will offer live music, local produce, multiple vendors, and more. Definitely stop by and check out this event.
Hardt's Backhoe Service is your locally owned and operated excavating company working in the Peak-to-Peak region. They take care of all your excavating needs, including septic installation, digging a new foundation, rock walls, construction demolition, and so much more. They're now scheduling summer and fall projects. Give them a call at 303-589-9354 or find them on Facebook at HARDTS Backhoe.
Free COVID tests are available at the Nederland Community Center every Thursday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. No appointment or ID is required. Peak-to-Peak musicians and artists, we're looking for you. Would you like a feature story in the Mountaineer? We cover all news of the Peak-to-Peak, including businesses and artist profiles. We also offer features on our podcast, website, and social media. Right now, these are all completed through email with our journalists. When things open back up completely, it will be in person. We are your community newspaper. Interested? Just email publisher1977@gmail.com to get on the list for upcoming editions.
Gilpin County has COVID-19 testing at the Gilpin County Public Health Office at 101 Norton Drive every Thursday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Sign up ahead of time at primarybio.com/L/CDPHE. Please pre-register prior to arrival.
The Mountain Man Outdoor Store carries new and used outdoor gear, Carhartts, Loki Darn Tough socks, hats, gloves, goggles, helmets, t-shirts, sweatshirts, and more. They have everything you need as a Ned local and everything you didn't know you'd need when visiting Ned from afar. They are located at 20 East Lakeview Drive, Unit 111 in Nederland, and can be reached at 303-258-3295.
Friday night is karaoke night at the Last Stand Tavern in Coal Creek Canyon. The Last Stand Tavern is located at 32198 Highway 72. They offer great comfort food, an extensive bar selection, and a wonderful outdoor deck to sit and enjoy your meal and music. The venue is family-owned and operated. The Mountaineer has advertising packets that include print, social media, online, and podcast. Email publisher1977@gmail.com for more information.
The Levitt Street Market is now open in Central City every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The market has several vendors offering fresh produce, pottery, jams, and jellies, JKQ barbecue, and more. Stop by Central City to check it out.
And now Dango Rose talks with drummer Adam Perry and aspects of his work, and not just being a drummer.
All right, this is Dango Rose with the Mountaineer Everybody's Listening podcast. My guest today is Adam Perry, drummer in Boulder County, locally performing this summer with Clay Rose of the Gasoline Lollipops. Adam, thank you for joining us. It's great to have you. How are you doing?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm extremely busy, and I'm looking out the window of my office wishing I was on a bike ride, but I have so many things to do today. And this is great. It's great to talk to you.
That's so cool. Your office, what do you do in the daytime?
I do a lot of things, but my main gig for the last 10 years has been in veterans disability law. You know, it's been an adventure balancing that with writing about music for Westward and a lot of other publications, and writing about cycling for some magazines, and then touring as a drummer, and also managing bands and promoting bands and booking shows, and trying to balance all of that. Kind of came to a loggerheads or something in 2018 when I decided to step back as the full-time drummer for Gasoline Lollipops, but I still work with them, and when they need me, I play drums. But Clay and I have maintained a friendship for 13 years now, and we do a lot of shows together in the area.
Oh, that's so wonderful. So you really do have a lot going on. Yeah, that's so great to hear. So you write for Westward, I work in artist management and promotion, and avid sampler, and a long time drummer. So
yeah.
Oh, and the Veterans Law, which thank you so much, by the way. I can't believe I missed that. That is such important work. So
Yeah.
How does it feel to balance all that and still get to play behind the drum kit and get the energy out that way?
Well, since I was about 9, I knew the drums were the only thing that I ever wanted to do. I don't have an answer for how I balance it. I have a daughter, and she's 11, and she is the most important thing in my life. So no matter what I'm doing, balancing things, it's all up with her in mind. But, playing the drums is one of the few times when I don't have to do anything to try to be myself. That's me. That's exactly where I want to be, and what I want to be doing. So I wouldn't exactly say there's a meditative quality to it, but it is like a drug. It is something that instantly makes me feel okay.
It kind of instantly brings you back to yourself in a sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Adam, I found that similar with bass playing, just and locking in with a drummer to that really the groove and just being in that flow state. I miss it, to be honest. I got the last 3 years, I never really took into account how fortunate I was to be able to enter that flow state on a nightly basis.
Yeah.
While touring. It's sort of like after the fact, it's like, oh, wow, what a great opportunity. What a great experience that was. And I've also found that it's really informed. It's informed so many aspects of my life and has helped me come back to myself, even remembering that state.
Right.
One of the wonderful things about music, music for me in that way has always sort of been a spiritual practice as well in some sense.
Yeah. It can be that meditating or whatever your spiritual practice is, you're trying to get to that state that you can get so easily with music or sex or drugs.
Right. I talked to a friend the other day. He just drove by. I hadn't seen him in a few years, and he gets out of the car and he tells me about how his whole thing now is doing spirit plant medicine, but not plant medicine, It's taking the glands of these exotic frogs
What?
in the Sonoran Desert.
Wow.
That's the medicine. I was very much intrigued. And I've heard about that, but mostly in fairy tales.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, my uncle worked in social work for 40 years with veterans.
Oh, great. Great.
It's so important, man. So, yeah, doing work like that, raising an 11-year-old daughter. I'm sure you're a wonderful father.
Mm-hmm.
And still doing the music stuff, man. So the long, strange trip of virtual concerts is over.
Yeah, that was, we were kind of the first ones in the area to do one, that was publicized, really trying to get people to watch it. And the first one that we did, me and Clay, was at the Jamestown Mercantile, which is a place we played for years and years and years. And Clay for a lot more years than me because he's from Jamestown. They just gave us the key and said, whatever you're going to do, that's fine. And they gave us the Wi-Fi. And there was Clay and me and my daughter. And Danny Schaefer came up,
Nice.
And helped us with the sound and with managing the comments from the Facebook and all that. It was sometime in March. So everything was new about am I going to die, basically? Right. And should I leave the house for any reason? And a lot of people were actually mad at us. Some people were super excited and others were like, I can't believe you're putting yourself at risk and putting the community at risk by going up to Jamestown and doing this. And the response that we had, people commenting and calling the Merc, and it was kind of like a late night TV thing where Clay was answering the phone on video, and then his mom called. A lot of people, were sending us photos and videos of themselves dancing in their living rooms.
Wow.
And it was so special. And so we did that, no matter what anybody said. We did the same thing at an empty Gold Hill Inn and the church in Ward and a lot of other places. And it was just me and Clay and no audience except the people online.
Yeah.
And Clay said something amazing about 6 months in, because we did 12 of these or so. He said that when we were playing, he felt like we were in a bardo. He felt like we had died and our spirits came back to haunt these venues that we had played so many times, but we only would go there at night when it was closed. And I thought that was beautiful. It was, and at the same time, it's amazing to get back to this and be playing for audiences and actually seeing people dancing. And now that we're vaccinated, actually hugging people who have been coming to our shows for years, and the Gas Pops I'm working with them, booking shows, and it's a family affair. It's not like there's one person doing any one of the jobs, but they have an extensive summer schedule coming up, and it's just getting started too. I'm seeing the Oriental Theater is next Friday, the 28th, and then the Gold Hill Inn on their annual Memorial Day celebration up there, which is amazing.
Cool. So the Gas Pops are back in action.
Yeah.
And then these shows with you and Clay, these are duo shows when the Gas Pops aren't touring. I don't know if full tours are happening right now, but so the next one is Sunday, June 6th at number 38 in Denver.
Yeah, that's me and Clay. And we played there in January. And number 38 is this place that, just opened less than a year ago. And it is an outdoor setup that's geared toward socially distant concerts. And they have a huge stage and first class sound system. It's in Rhino and everything is outside. They have a volleyball court or something out there too. So it's just this big setup for bands to play outside, and it's really fun. That is Sunday, June 6th. And then we're playing Thursday, June 10th at the Jamestown Merc, in the park that's right across from the Merc and that gazebo. We played there on my birthday last year, and that was really fun.
And then you also have a show Sunday, August 8th at the Gold Hill Inn.
Yeah, that's one that we're going to have a soloist for, and it's going to be a surprise guest. So that'll be a trio. Sunday, August 8th in Gold Hill. They always have the best food and the best people. I love Gold Hill. We just announced a duo show yesterday. I'm super excited about. The Gas Pops used to play the Jamestown 4th of July. It seemed like since the beginning of time that was going to happen every year, and now they're all so busy, and so it's been 2 or 3 years since that happened, maybe 4 years. But this year, Clay and I are going to play the Jamestown 4th as a duo, and that'll be really fun.
Oh, that's great to hear. So July 4th in Jamestown with Clay and Adam. So let me just give the lowdown on the Gas Pops real quick. Gasoline lollipops stitch scraps of American roots music to patches of their own tattered hearts to form an all-new tapestry of bleeding rock and roll. Gasoline Lollipops are 3-time winners of Colorado Daily's Best Local Band Award and 2-time winners of Denver Westward's Best Country Band Award. 2018, they made Billboard's Top 10 Spotify chart as well as Pandora's Top 10 Trendsetters list. Today, the Gas Pops continue to bend genres and electrify live audiences with ferocious sincerity. Does that sound about accurate?
That sounds accurate. Clay started that band a long time ago with his good friend Johnny Mouser, and it was a punk rock acoustic duo. And Clay, I think, had a mohawk back in the day. Yep. And it's gone from Clay and Johnny busking to Red Rocks, which we played, and now touring. And right before I left the band as the full-time drummer, we did a tour in Belgium and Holland, and we played in Belize. And now it's Kevin, the new drummer, is just fantastic. Him and Brad Morris, the bassist, and Donnie, the Telecaster player, are just phenomenal. Like, they are all very trained musicians who also have great feel and energy. And Clay has the band that, what did it say? Ferocious sincerity. Yeah. So Clay gets up there and can do his thing, which is that real authenticity of Colorado and Nashville and his upbringing, and then have this band behind him that is just world class. So I was looking at the schedule before we started talking, but there's also Gas Pops Sunday, June 13th at the Gardens on Spring Creek in Fort Collins. It's Botanical Gardens concert series. That sounds amazing.
Nice.
Yeah. And then the weekend of June 25th, they're playing the Rail on the River Festival. And then they're playing the Foundry Plaza in Loveland Wednesday, July 14th. And they're playing the Ridgeway Summer Concert Series Thursday, July 15th. And they're playing the Louisville Street Fair, which is just like one of the best local events every summer, Friday, July 30th.
Awesome. So many chances to see Clay Rose and the Gas Pops, and then also with you, Adam, in the duo. So, well, we just look forward to, just hearing more and more of the music and seeing you behind the kit this year.
Yeah.
I just want to thank you for taking the time out of your day to chat with us. This is Dango Rose with my guest, Adam Perry.
Thanks for having me.
You're so welcome. And this is the Mountaineer Everybody's Listening podcast, and we hope to hear you real soon.
Thank you, Dango and Adam, for the insight and stories.
Now back to the news desk for some local events and businesses.
Gilpin County is holding a special vaccination clinic for children 12 to 17 years of age. The clinic will take place on Thursday, May 27th from 3 to 5 p.m. at the Public Health Building at 101 Norton Drive in Blackhawk. Parents may register their children at www.comassvax.org. That is comassvax.org. Appointments are first come, first serve. Parents must complete the registration form for their child in order to provide signed consent.
Check out Brightwood Music in Nederland for new and used instruments. Brightwood carries several lines of stringed and fretted brass and woodwinds, percussion instruments, and much more. The store is family-owned and operated and has been a Ned's staple for over a decade. They're located at 20 East Lakeview Drive, Unit 109 in Nederland, and can be reached at 303-258-8863. Find them on Facebook at Brightwood Music.
For our final story today, we'll talk to Arwen Ek of the Holistic Homestead.
Hi, my name is Arwen. I'm the director of the Holistic Homestead. We're a 501c3 dedicated to improving health and wellness in our community. We've got 3 benchmarks: outreach, education, and advocacy. So outreach into the community, building healthy communities. Education is actually just improving health literacy. One of the most amazing things that I learned when I started the homestead was the more you know, the healthier you are. So simply knowing more about health and wellness directly correlates to better health outcomes. And then advocacy for the medically underserved, being in Gilpin County, but anywhere up here along the peak to peak, we are definitely considered medically underserved. We just don't have access to big hospitals, pharmacies, clinics, emergency rooms that are really nearby. We're at least an hour or more away from those kinds of services. So people really need to know more about how to take care of themselves and how to take care of each other.
And here's what's planned for a special event this Memorial Day weekend.
We started actually with just doing farmers markets. We started in 2016 with a roadside herb stand on South Beaver, and then we moved to Golden Gate Canyon, started selling vegetables, getting local producers together. This fits into the part of our mission, building healthy communities. We're really excited to actually be doing events again this year. We used to do this all the time. Then with COVID, everything got shut down. So this year we are kicking off our farmers market season on Memorial Day weekend, this upcoming Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We have 13 vendors. We have cooking demos, live music. Got lots of fun stuff going on, and it's all local. We've got local organic produce that we're getting from the Nederland Farmers Market, so we're collaborating with them as well to put this on. And it's going to be daily, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 10 to 4.
Be sure to check out live music at the event as well, even as it changes on a daily basis.
We have on Friday, the 28th at 1 p.m., we actually have live storytelling with Bright Hawk Productions. They have handpan, instrument, and African drums and costumes, and they're telling stories, so it's definitely more oriented for the kids there on Friday. Saturday, the Felonious Smith Trio, local Front Range band, really old school blues, playing from 12 to 3. And then Sunday, starting at 1 p.m. and probably going all the way until 4 o'clock, is Mad Dog Blues. And Mad Dog is more modern blues, rock and roll. All of these guys put on a great show.
There's a lot to offer with the cooking class and other things going on at the market. Thanks, Arwen, and we look forward to it.
Cooking demos, definitely make sure you come out for that. On Friday, we've got Ali Sugarman. She's one of our sponsors. Her business is Sweet Embrace Doula. She'll be serving up veggie korma for us. On Saturday, we're getting a cooking demo from Nathan Womack, who is the founder of Look Out, Here I Come garlic and chili-infused olive oil. It's a really fabulous olive oil, sharing some of his recipes with us on Saturday in our kitchen inside here at the homestead. Gosh, what else to tell you? I should definitely give a shout out to our sponsors. First and foremost, Grapes & Sons, excavating company. Gilpin Cleaning Company, Dory Dozen's Delight. A few more sponsors I'd like to mention. One is September Cellars. They're a local winery. And also Keep Magnolia Clean is helping to sponsor this event. I should also mention that this is a COVID-safe event. We are, even though it's outdoors mostly, we are requesting that folks just go ahead and wear their masks just because I'm anticipating some crowds coming through physical distancing, and we're also providing hand washing station and sanitizer all over the place just to help keep our community healthy and happy.
And that's all for this week's episode of the Mountaineer Podcast. All editions of the Mountaineer Podcast are available on our website at themountaineer.com.
Pick up this week's edition of the Mountaineer in print.
And you can go online as well to www.themtnear.com to catch up on more local news. I'm Cynthia Davis.
And I'm Ardea Vitalis. Until next time, thank you for listening.
And that's it for our show. Subscribe online to get more access to more news, weekly updates to our community calendar, and a link to our YouTube channel by visiting themountaineer.com. Be sure to use the coupon code PODCAST when subscribing for a 10% discount, only available to our listeners. If you are in the local Peak to Peak area, be sure to pick up a print edition of The Mountaineer at a local business. I'm Dango Rose. Thank you for listening.